John Ferriola, Chairman, CEO of Nucor. It's so nice to talk to you at this conference in New York.
Thank you for your time. Nice to meet you.
I know that you wrote recently that the outlook for the industry looks a little bit better with the Trump administration in place. We know the Section 232 review is underway. How do you see that potentially resolving? And what will it mean for the industry and your company if it's resolved favorably?
You know, it's very difficult to predict exactly what the government is going to do in terms of tariffs or quotas or percentages. So what I will do is, if I may, is talk to you about what Nucor would like to see happen and what we've encouraged the government to do. I've had an opportunity to discuss the issue with President Trump and with Secretary Ross, and my guidance to them has been this. They should start with the end in mind. Their goal is to make sure that we have a strong national security. That's a great goal. I mean, the most fundamental function of government is to provide security for its citizens. So the goal of having a national security that's strong, absolutely the right thing for them to focus on. To me, it's impossible to argue that you can have a sustainable national defense without having a sustainable steel industry. Just think about it. What do you go to war with? Okay? So you have to have a sustainable steel industry. And that's their goal. That's what they're looking to accomplish. Now, as I talk to them, I say, what you need to do is to think about what do you have to have? What are the parameters you need to have a sustainable steel industry? Well, you have to have a utilization rate that's in the 80 to 85%, 85, 87% range. And to do that, you have to limit the amount of imports in terms of the total market share that they take. Okay? Now, whether you have a quota, whether you have a tariff, notice, recognize what you look to accomplish, and then go back and measure to see if you've in fact accomplished what you set out to do. So, I'm not sure what they're going to come out with, but what they come out with needs to achieve the goal of limiting imports to 10 to 15% of the market share, which allows the steel mills, the domestic steel mills, to operate at a utilization rate that is in fact sustainable.
Staying in Washington for a moment, do you see any regulatory reform coming from D.C. that will help the industry?
The question was, do I think we'll see any? I'm going to answer it in two parts. Number one, we've seen a tremendous amount already. And I want to be clear about that, and I want to thank if they get the opportunity to see this, I'd like to thank them for what they've done on regulations, because they've taken a lot of the ridiculous, time-consuming, high-cost regulations that did not do anything to protect the worker or the industry or the citizens of the United States. Frankly, there are regulations that are good regulations. They haven't touched them, okay? And we don't want them to touch them. They protect the environment, they protect the workers, they protect the citizens around our facilities. Look, we all live in the communities in which we work. We want our children, they're exposed to that air. So they've done a good job of weeding out some of the regulations that did not provide the protection cost-value ratio that makes the most sense. But there's more to do, and I believe they will continue to do it.
Even with all these outstanding issues, trade, regulation, things are going well for you at your company. I mean, you've had a very strong performance. Where do you see that demand going? What are we going to hear from your company in the future, and how do you feel about the U.S. generally in terms of the industries that you play in?
You know, I feel very good about the U.S. in general. The economy has been moving at much too slow of a pace in terms of improving. We can't continue with a 2% GDP. We need to move that up to 3.5% GDP. Within the game, within the environment we have to work as a company, what we've done is find ways to continue to innovate with our products. We grow our company through merger and acquisitions. We've added brought several new companies into the Nucor family. So we continue to grow, we continue to innovate. We're in a commodity business, and in a commodity business, the name of the game is cost control. So we continue to focus on reducing our cost to the lowest possible number. If you heard my comments inside, I like to say to our team that we will always be better tomorrow than we are today. And that's the way that we can succeed long term. Continuous improvement by innovation, okay? We focus on 5 things at Nucor all the time. We say we have to focus on safety first, that's the most important thing, service to our customers, quality to our products, on-time delivery, and then profitability so that we can be sustainable to continue to to provide good products at a fair market value to our customers.
Do you think the U.S. is on the cusp of a renaissance in steel manufacturing?
That's a very interesting question, and I'll say this. What we've accomplished in the past 5 years is more than we've accomplished in the previous 10 to 15 years, and it was driven by the need to do that. You know, I gave a presentation on Rocky, and it was all about him being an underdog, fighting his way to the top, but getting complacent. And as an industry, we got a little bit complacent, and we let some other materials come into our space without fighting them the way that we should have fought them. Obviously, aluminum being one, carbon fibers could be another example of it. But I'm here to tell you that today at Nucor and at other companies in our industry, the steels that we are producing and continue to innovate to get better at will give the better value proposition to our customers than these competing materials. Today our steels are stronger, they're lighter, they're more formable, and we can still do it at a good value proposition to our customer.
John Ferriola, it's been great chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.